Every street in Britain used to have one. You did not plan to go, you just went, because it was there 30 seconds from your front door, and the man behind the counter knew what your mother sent you for before you said a word. The corner shop was not a convenience, it was a fixture. It was the place you ran to on a Sunday morning when everything else was closed. The place you borrowed milk from and paid back on Tuesday. The place where the newspaper was held back with your name on it because you had been taking the same one for 11 years. In 2010, Britain had over 47,000 independent convenience stores. Today, fewer than 29,000 remain. One closes every day, and the reason is not one thing. It is a system that was never designed for them to survive. The network of family-run local shops grew during the post-war decades, serving as neighborhood infrastructure in working-class communities. In the early 1950s, independent grocers supplied more than half of all British food sales. Even as larger retail formats began to appear, around 90,000 independent grocery stores remained active by the start of the 1970s. These businesses survived by adapting to the specific needs of their immediate streets, offering extended opening hours that far exceeded those of larger corporate rivals. From the 1960s onward, the ownership of these stores began to reflect migration patterns from the Indian subcontinent. A distinct shift occurred after August 1972, when the expulsion of the Asian population from Uganda by Idi Amin forced approximately 28,500 Ugandan Asians with British passports to resettle in the United Kingdom. Many of these families possessed established commercial experience from running trading businesses in East Africa. By pooling family capital, they acquired neighbourhood shops in urban centres like Leicester, Birmingham and London, sustaining the high street trade through long hours and family labour. These operations relied on close integration with the daily routines of their customers. Families relied on the shops for early morning newspaper deliveries, often managed by the owner's children. Proprietors operated on a first-name basis with their local customer base and frequently maintained handwritten ledgers to offer informal credit, allowing neighbours to purchase daily necessities and pay when they received their weekly wages. By living above or behind the premises, these families provided a continuous presence on the street, making the shop a reliable social anchor in the neighbourhood. In the 1980s, the structural environment supporting neighbourhood retailers began to dissolve, driven by a fundamental shift in national planning policy. Under the Thatcher government, the Department of the Environment relaxed controls on large-scale retail developments outside traditional town centres. This deregulation, formalised in the late 1980s planning guidelines, eased the approval process for massive commercial developments on the urban periphery. National supermarket chains, including Tesco, Sainsbury's and Asda, capitalised on this legislative window. They acquired vast tracts of cheap land along newly constructed bypasses and motorway corridors. By offering free parking and thousands of products under a single roof, these out-of-town developments introduced a high-volume retail model designed specifically around the automobile. The physical shift occurred with remarkable speed. In 1980, Great Britain had roughly 132 food superstores. By 1993, that figure rose to more than 800. This rapid expansion of large-format retail space systematically redirected weekly consumer footfall away from residential streets, altering basic shopping routines long before the checkout price battles had even begun. Supermarkets weaponized daily essentials to draw shoppers through their doors, selling milk, eggs, and bread at or below cost. During the 1999 bread war, supermarket loaves sold for as little as 7 pence. For independent corner shops, these basic goods were the essential drivers of daily footfall. Customers who stopped in for a pint of milk or a loaf of bread usually bought other higher-margin items during their visit. When supermarkets cut staple prices to levels independents could not match without losing money, that critical neighbourhood footfall evaporated. Independent owners could not absorb these losses because their purchasing power was fundamentally unequal. While national chains negotiated massive volume discounts, small retailers faced high wholesale rates. According to the British Independent Retailers Association, Tide independents paid roughly 30% more per unit for the exact same stock. This pricing gap forced a bleak choice: sell at a loss to compete or keep prices sustainable and watch local customers walk away. Beyond competitive pricing, a rigid national tax system placed an entirely separate structural burden on the physical premises of independent retailers. In the United Kingdom, commercial properties are subject to business rates. This tax is calculated not on the actual turnover or profit of a shop, but on the estimated rental value of the property itself. Under this framework, a neighbourhood corner shop generating £200,000 in annual revenue can find itself facing the same business rates assessment as a highly profitable national chain branch, occupying a similar footprint. The system makes no allowance for the vast difference in financial resources between a single-family business and a multinational corporation. This structural inequality deepened following the 2017 nationwide revaluation conducted by the Valuation Office Agency. The reassessment lifted rateable values across the country, adding an average of £3,200 a year to the tax bills of independent convenience stores. For a low-margin shopkeeper, this sudden increase stripped away vital cash flow that previously funded staff wages or stock purchases. This property tax creates a stark-scale mismatch when compared to modern online competitors. While a local shopkeeper pays high street rates on a small physical storefront, an online giant like Amazon can serve millions of customers from a single massive distribution warehouse. Because these warehouses are located in industrial areas with low rental values, they are taxed as single properties. This setup allows online retailers to bypass high street tax rates entirely, leaving independent local shops to carry a disproportionate tax burden for simply maintaining a physical presence in the neighbourhoods they serve. The contraction of British retail was a policy choice rather than an inevitable economic law. Other European nations enacted specific legislative frameworks to protect neighbourhood traders. In 1996, France passed the Loi Galland, legally prohibiting supermarkets from selling goods below cost. Since the 1970s, Italy has maintained strict municipal zoning protections that restrict large food retailers from entering historic areas. In Germany, the traditional late-night Spatkauf operates under municipal licensing rules that control store density. The United Kingdom introduced no equivalent protective laws, leaving its independent retail sector entirely to the market. The physical shopfronts still stand on residential street corners, but the names on the signs have changed. Corporate convenience formats like Co-op and One Stop, along with Tesco Express, Sainsbury's Local, and Amazon Fresh, increasingly occupy these traditional footprints. Even where a neighbourhood shop retains a local name, it often operates as a franchise under symbol groups like Spar, Nisa, or Londis. These arrangements allow storefronts to appear independent, while their inventory and pricing are entirely controlled through corporate wholesale supply chains. The building survives, but the independent family business inside does not. If this story interested you, there is a video right here about what happened to the British High Street. Subscribe for more retail history. As corporate convenience replaces the last independent counters, we lose more than retail variety. We lose the daily human contact that once anchored our neighbourhoods. If this story interested you, there is a video right here about what happened to the British High Street. Subscribe for more.